Mold, it's everywhere. It causes havoc in the body in a lot of people. Some people are more genetically susceptible for not being able to process mold. So, how I look at my histamine cases, it's like a process of elimination. And so, if I see a patient come in and I look at their diet, I'm like, how much gluten are they eating? Are they sensitive to gluten? Do they have a lot of symptoms of SIBO? Then I think about all the symptoms of oxalates. But when I often get patients that come in and have done every test under the sun, especially if I've got their gene reports, people that do gene reports are unwell, they're sick, and they've been unwell for a long time. They're trying to find answers. So they come in, they've done gene reports, they've done Dutch hormones, they've done SIBO, stool testing, nothing found. And I can see these patients from my form, they tick every box. I've got every symptom, a lot of histamine symptoms, pain symptoms, fatigue symptoms. They can't eat anything. They have multiple food intolerances. They have multiple chemical sensitivity. And these are so often the mold patients. So if mold not picked up, it's going to keep on driving histamine. It's just going to keep on driving up your histamine bucket, disrupts the microbiome, really taxes the immune system and the nervous system. So we can't ignore it. We need to really, really make sure that we pick up mold in our patients. Mold, it's common. It's found in the environment, on plants, soil, decaying organic matter. And so when mold is growing indoors on damp surfaces such as walls, ceilings, and floors, this is when it can be very harmful to humans. And when it is growing indoors, it produces high levels of spores called mycotoxins. And mycotoxins can get into the blood and wreak havoc. You can't see these mycotoxins. They're microscopic. They're everywhere. They're released into the environment. They get onto the walls, into your bedding, into your body. They love natural fibers, carpets, a couch. They're everywhere. And as I was saying, they cause chronic inflammation in the body. They'll really drive up your histamine. Mold mycotoxins can lead to a condition called CIRS, chronic inflammatory response syndrome. It's a multi-symptom, multi-system illness, a lot of histamine symptoms. And what happens in CIRS is that normally when the body detects something, so an environmental toxin like mold mycotoxins, it triggers the innate immune system. So the innate immune system is the first part of the immune system that gets triggered when there's a threat, and it causes pain and inflammation. There's a lot of white blood cells that are involved, and cytokines, which are inflammatory mediators, are also involved. And then the mast cells get involved and they're going to release histamine. And when this part of the immune system kicks in, you start to feel unwell, which is a trigger that there's something wrong. So it's telling you, stop doing that thing, remove yourself from that thing, that environment. It's like a warning, warning, warning. Right? And as I said, this part of the immune system has mast cells. So they're going to degranulate and they're going to release a lot of histamine and other inflammatory mediators. And then what is meant to happen on around day 4 is that your adaptive immune system is meant to kick in. This is your antibody antigen part of the immune system. So your body will produce an antibody against an antigen. An antigen is another word for a toxin, and there's an antibody created for each type of toxin. So it's a very robust part of your immune system. I think of it like the special services. It's like highly trained soldiers. And these antibodies, they know exactly how to deal with their specific antigen. But what happens in CIRS is that you do not mount an antibody response. So the adaptive immune system does not kick in. And your innate immune system, which is the first part of the immune system with those mast cells, they just don't stop. It remains active. So you're continually releasing inflammatory mediators, including histamine from those mast cells. So that's part of the picture of CIRS. Like, it's quite complex, but when it comes to CIRS, one of the major causes of CIRS is mold and mold mycotoxins. And then we've also got a condition called mast cell activation syndrome, or MCAS. And it's a condition characterized by abnormal activation of mast cells. So individuals with MCAS, the mast cells are overly sensitive and react inappropriately to a wide range of triggers, including mold mycotoxins. So CIRS and MCAS a lot of the causes of CIRS and MCAS are mould. And I see this a lot clinically.